What's your default attitude as a Christian? Do you usually feel pretty confident about how things are going and how they're going to go in the future? If we're honest, we might feel a bit doubtful when we look at the world around us, our families, or even our own progress in the faith. But the death, resurrection, and what's called the ascension of Christ speaks to that outlook. Read with me from Luke 24:50 to 53. And he led them out as far as Bethany, and lifting up his hands, he blessed them. While he blessed them, he parted from them and was carried up into heaven. And they worshipped him and returned to Jerusalem with great joy and were continually in the temple, blessing God. Leading up to Easter, Palm Sunday celebrates what's called the triumphal entry of Christ into Jerusalem. But after Easter, here at the end of Luke's gospel, we see another kind of triumphal entry. This time, an entry into heaven itself to rule and reign at the right hand of God the Father. And that's a picture that accords really well with Daniel 7:13 and 14. There, Daniel prophesies about Christ, and he says, "Behold, with the clouds of heaven there came one like a son of man, and he came to the Ancient of Days and was presented before him. And to him was given dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom one that shall not be destroyed." In fulfillment of Daniel 7, the Lord Jesus is the Son of Man that's lifted up into heaven to triumphantly present himself before God and receive from him all authority in heaven and on earth, an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away. The ascension of Christ is a picture of a triumphant King of Kings who conquered sin and death and vanquished his foes. And he is at God's right hand even today as the victor, until that day comes when all his enemies will become a footstool for his feet. So let me ask, what's your reaction to hearing that? I'd like to suggest that our attitude in light of Christ's ascension ought to be a supreme confidence. Confidence that Christ has truly dealt with our sin. Confidence that, as dark and hopeless as things often look, Christ is still ruling and reigning. Confidence that in the end, Christ wins and his church will prevail. We have an invincible, undefeatable King who has already won the decisive victory against sin and death. I'd say that's reason for confidence, joy, and hope.